Oh yeah. I knew if I got something to eat, I'd hook up. Try to keep them out of that other line. I believe, I'm not sure what this is on. I think this is on one of my shad tubes, but it might be on one of my grubs. It's either a grub or a shad tube. Nice head shake. Still 80 feet away though. I'm all paranoid. I don't usually stack lines. Of course, I've been fishing in a kayak for 2 years, so there's not a lot of stacking going on. But the last release, I snagged the other line and ended up losing the fish. So this one feels like he's free. So it's like a nice fish. You know, obviously, it's not a red hot bite this morning, and that's one of the times when the soft plastics, you know, really excel because it feels real, it looks real, they nip at it, fools them pretty well. 25 feet out here. Yeah, that was on one of my grubs. Nice rainbow. Yeah, baby. All right. That's awesome. Lake Shasta, man. It seldom disappoints. That's a really typical rainbow. At a lot of lakes, that's a nice fish, but here, it's just a nice average fish. You can see I got that on that Max lure, that chrome set of hot wings. I removed one of the blades because I was going subtle, and whoa. Nice rainbow for the smoker, and he jumped all over that firecracker grub. That's awesome.
FishHuntShoot.com offers a variety of tackle as well as rods and reels designed to get you on more and bigger fish. Check it out today at FishHuntShoot.com.
Howdy folks, Kel Kellogg here. Well, the leaf blowers are out in force, dogs are barking and stuff like that, but we're not going to let that stop us from talking about trout fishing. You know, just the other day, I actually went to the dentist, the oral surgeon, terrifying, and I had to have a tooth pulled. My dad was my ride, and we got there early, and I think he was just trying to calm me down, actually. But he started asking me questions about trout trolling, and we were talking about this, and we were talking about that, and we started talking about flashers. He says, does anybody still use flashers? I said, yeah, they use them a lot. Savvy guys use them a lot, and at no time are they more important than in the winter and early spring when the fish are a little bit lethargic, but they're still very willing to feed. Those flashers can kind of, you know, snap them out of their lethargic mindset, bring them in, they see your offering, and you hook up. But, you know, in reality, flashers are important all year long, but it is in the winter and early spring when they are most useful. So he asked me, so are they still pulling those big giant long strings of flashers that have, you know, 4 or 5 blades? I think he was talking about like the big Ford fenders and stuff like that. And I said, well, absolutely they're still pulling those. But since that conversation, I've been thinking a lot about flashers, and just to show you, I actually just pulled my flasher bag out of my tackle box, and I laid out a bunch of flashers here. You know, a few years ago, I was talking to Vance Staplin of Vance's Tackle, and he markets a whole line of trout and kokanee fish and stuff, and we were talking about flashers, and he's got his little Slim Willie flashers, and he told me, you know, when we were testing them, he's all, 2 blades work just as effectively as 3 blades, but he's all, you can't sell flashers that only have 2 blades because anglers expect them to have 3 or 4 blades. Well, with that in mind, over the years, I've experimented a lot with flashers. Now, here's a set of flashers that I use fairly often. These are the Yakima Bait Rooster Trolls, and those are 4-blade flashers. They have 1 large blade, a medium blade, and then 2 small blades. Pretty standard affair. Those are actually the same blades that you would find on a rooster tail spinner. But that's a pretty standard arrangement, 4 blades. Now, in the Max lure, the Mylar, I think they're called the Fish Light Flashers, They have the same configuration, you know. This is a full-size version. It has 4 blades, these being Mylar, very low drag, and that's pretty much standard. Problem is, sometimes they want all that flash and all that vibration that's put off by 4 blades, but sometimes it puts the fish off, and you kind of got to take their temperature. Now here's some other flashers that I use. I think these are called the Max Lure Hot Wings, and as you can see there, it has half the amount of blades. These are very versatile. One has 2 blades. These work great in small high Sierra lakes, places like that, a little more intimate setting where the trout, you know, they tend to be a little more reclusive and stuff like that. Now, I was up at Shasta this summer, and you guys have probably seen the footage. I caught a really nice trout, about 4 pounds, on one of my grubs, and I was running a set of these flashers, but it was not easy fishing that day. We tried spoons, we tried plugs, we tried all the standard stuff, and that's how I came to be pulling a grub. It was a very subtle bite. We were marking a lot of fish, but they didn't want to go. And after trolling one of these for a little while, I decided even that was too much, so I grabbed a set of silver ones, and as you can see, I removed one of the blades, and I actually found out how tough this Mylar material is because I had a hard time cutting it off, but I got it off there, and this is the actual set I caught that big fish on, but I was just running one single Mylar blade, and that did the trick. Now, it wasn't a wide open bite. We ended up catching 3 very nice rainbows that day, 4 strikes, 3 fish, lost 1 fish on the way up to the boat, but it was that very subtle presentation that closed the deal. They wouldn't hit a naked grub. They wouldn't hit a grub behind standard flashers or even the 2-blade Hot Wings flashers, but I got the 4 strikes on this set of flashers with a single grub behind it. So I guess the moral of this story is, yes, Dad. My dad doesn't even have the internet. But yes, Dad, guys still use flashers. Savvy guys use flashers. And just like anything else, confidence means a lot, and you've got to experiment out on the water, and you've got to take notes. I take notes in a journal, but if nothing else, you got to take mental notes about what's working, how it's working. And, you know, when you cut the blades off of a flasher, just file these away. You know you got a bunch of trout tackle, so the next time you're out there in a subtle bite, you might want to run 1 blade or 2 blades. Just play with it. Now, you might be out in some different conditions. It might be really deep water. It might be low light. It might be a little muddy. Maybe you want to run a 4-blade set of flashers. Maybe you want to run that Max Lure 4-blade set of flashlight flashers and then snap and an additional 2 blades on there. Maybe you're fishing for Max deep in Tahoe or something like that, and you want more than 4 blades. So bottom line, experiment, use your experience, build your confidence, and always, you know, kind of apply all that to the conditions at hand to figure out what works best on any given day and any given set of circumstances, and that's going to put you on the trail to catching more and bigger fish. I'm Cal Kellogg. I'm out of here. You guys have a great day. I will catch you later. Please hit that subscribe button down below and check out the Fish Hunt Shoot Productions tackle store. We got a lot of stuff in there, and I think you'll find it interesting. Anyway, you have a great day, and I will catch you next time right here on YouTube. Thanks, guys.